Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Arwen Lewis. You're listening to the Arwen Lewis Radio Show. Today, my very special guests are Firebug, Juliet, and Jules from Joshua Tree, California. We've been discussing their extensive career in the music business and featuring some of their beautiful music. Don't go anywhere because at the end of the show, you're going to hear their song Moment of Joy in its entirety as our featured song. You can find out more about them at firebugmusic.com and under Firebug Music on social media platforms, and look them up on any of your favorite listening platforms under Firebug. And anyway, Jules and Juliet, hello again.
Hi.
Hey, Arwen.
So I thought we could talk about like some of your favorite performance memories. I was reading your bio, and I mean, on top of everything else that we've already kind of discussed and haven't tapped into yet, you did a really extensive tour in the UK, and you played at Sonisphere Festival and also at London's Dublin Castle and the Halfmoon. So I thought you could tell me about those shows and the amazing people you shared the stage with.
Okay, yeah. So we, at the time for Sonisphere, we were on this Battle of the Band thing in Chicago, even though we're living in Los Angeles. At the time, our manager got us on this. Like it was sponsored by Beck's Beer. So we flew out to Chicago in our old neighborhood where we met, like playing a band. It was kind of cool. And we got to play this. It was like they're looking for an act for New Year's Eve in New York. Like, so it's kind of a battle thing. So the PR person, I forget her name, was Julia, I think. So we played it and all. They wound up using a DJ for it. So they didn't even like use a band like to do the New York thing. But she really liked our band a lot. And she got us on a slot to play at Sonisphere Music Festival. So that was in Knebworth, which was, you know, an amazing like outdoor like music like place. And so we built a tour around it in England, and we went out there, and it was unbelievable. I mean, we weren't on the main stages. Like there are two big main stages where like bands like the Cult and Iggy and the Stooges are playing, but we were on the Strongbow stage, and there are like 5 different stages there. They're all decent sized stages.
Yeah.
And we played in the afternoon stuff, and you know, we had 2,000 people there watching us. You know, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an eye opener for us because, you know, we most of the time we spent like in the press pool, like at Knebworth, they have this old hunting lodge, and like it's where all the press people are, and
Okay.
so Sonisphere is pretty much like it's a metal festival. I mean, it doesn't exist anymore, but it used to be very, very popular. There are like 100,000 people there. You know, I mean, it's massive. You know, and so we spent our time mostly in the, you know, just getting interviewed. You know, you'd have like a lot of older journalists, like metal journalists and stuff, like been around since like the early 70s and stuff, and they're hanging out interviewing us. And then you have
very diverse.
And then you have like teenagers like who have their own like metal like shows and stuff, and they're all England's so small that they're culturally like they all know each other. Like it's very close.
Joe Jackson, Joe Jackson played that too. That's what I mean. Remember?
No, he didn't play.
Yeah, he did.
Joe Jackson didn't play Sonisphere, not Sonisphere Festival. No, Joe Jackson played in New Orleans at House of Blues.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah,
sorry.
definitely Joe Jackson did not play at Sonisphere, but yeah, so it was that was a big eye opener for us. I know I mentioned that before, but our show went well and stuff, and you know, we got to meet like one of our friends, Michael Kane, we've known for a long time. He was a bass tech for Iron Maiden.
Nice.
And so he's toured with Iron Maiden for years. He's retired now, but so they were on the same bill. They were the main headliner along with Iggy in the studio.
Okay.
So you know, we got to hang out with them, and it was kind of cool. You know, it was like this huge freaking rock band like around like does stuff. He programs a lot of their keyboard stuff and the background stuff. So he's been with the band for many years.
Okay.
And but he brought along Dean Carr to check us out. And Dean's a famous rock doc guy. He's made a lot of rock documentaries. So you can look him up.
Okay.
Like
What's
Dean
his name?
Carr
Sorry.
Dean Carr with a
Dean
K,
Carr.
like Karr. So he was at our show and stuff. And, these are, you know, they're big names in like the metal world, like for all these years and stuff. And like, we're not necessarily a metal band and stuff, but at that time we had songs that were kind of fit more on the heavier side and stuff. So we fit a
I'm
little
sorry, I
bit.
can't remember right now. Who did that song? I think it was the 70s or the 80s. Cars.
That's Gary Newman.
Gary Newman.
Yeah, he was on
there.
that
Gary
bill.
Newman,
That's what I
nice.
meant to say.
Yeah. He was on the
It
bill.
was a very diverse festival. I mean,
Yeah.
there were different like shades and variations of.
They had a lot of really big acts. I mean, Motley Crue is there, like, but we don't necessarily like fit with that so much. But at the time, like, we're a rock band, so it worked out.
Yeah, it was great fun.
And it's nice in like a metal festival. It's really nice to have something kind of like change the energy for a second, because otherwise, like everything is just this one sound wave that's just hitting you for 5 days, and that can get kind of.
Oh yeah, totally.
I feel like you can experience everything more in depth if you have, you change your vibration for a second or a minute or whatever, and then it's still all kind of sounds like it fits into this like. Not avant-garde.
Hi, I'm Juliet.
I'm Joel.
Oh, there they are. Anyway, there's your ghost.
Wow, they're at the studio. Wow, how do we get over there and then get back? Never mind. I'm being silly.
It'd be funny if you kept it in. Okay. But anyway, so that I loved. Anyway, wrapping up talking about the festival. Yeah, I think you guys totally must have fit in really well. And had.
And then like after our show, we got to like after all the press stuff, we got to walk around, like being like in a sea of like, people. Like it was just like wow, we actually like played this, and we're like out in the middle of a crowd, like, and there's Iggy Pop like on a big screen. I'm like, oh my god,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What I wanted to, like, that's kind of, we can talk about how you feel when you watch a show, but how do you want your audience to feel when they watch you perform? Does it depend on what kind of music you're playing for them that night, or do you have something consistent that you want them to experience?
That's a tough one to answer. Well, first and foremost, we hope that, our audience enjoys what they're hearing. We want people to feel good. We want people to, I don't know, be present in the moment and then forget it, not necessarily forget, but like leave the rest of the world, whatever else is going on behind for a short time that they're there, and just go on a journey with us.
Oh, I'll tell, like, that happened to me when I saw you. Like, it's very captivating, and your music's kind of hypnotizing in a really cool way too. Even listening, I'm driving, I'm like, oh, better pay attention.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and it totally, and that's what I love when I watch a band, and you're just, when they captivate you and you're caught in the moment and you're enjoying what you're hearing, obviously, it can be a really cathartic experience. I just had this conversation with my guest yesterday. You go in, the audience comes in as one person, and then they leave, maybe, feeling a different way, or, even feeling like they're somebody else or whatever. But, I
think when we play in different places, interrupt, sorry. We're like, depending on the gig, like, when we're in New Orleans, like if we're playing like more of a rowdy bar kind of like environment, and we're a duo, right? So like, we'll change up our songs a little bit, and like kind of accommodate like more kind of this, I don't know, more for a bar atmosphere, people getting drunk, being loud, like kind of thing,
If it's more of a rock audience, and then we'll gear our set or sets plural more towards that, our more rock-ish sounding stuff. As a duo, it's only how
So
far
much
can
we
you
can
go
do,
with that, right? But we have songs that fit the vibe, of being unplugged, so to speak.
We have some songs.
Quasi unplugged.
Yeah.
More in the rock vein, depending. Yeah.
We have a couple songs that like bar participation kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
that's so
like,
fun.
we didn't bust those out at Lost Chord Guitars, but like we do have some stuff we kind of like, especially when we're in New Orleans, like I think we gotta like throw out some stuff like so she is like that too. She's like, let's write some
It
stuff like this.
depends, like, sometimes before you get to where you're going to perform, like, you know what to expect, you know what kind of music that people want. Especially if you're like playing with another act that is in a certain vein, and you know what the audience is like. Obviously, you gear yourself towards that. And then, there are a lot of times you don't know. Excuse me. What the night is going to be like when you're playing at a bar or venue. So we just gauge it as it goes.
Yeah.
And you know, gauge how the audience is, how they're responding to certain songs. And sometimes we're just like, oh, what the hell? We just move around and throw all our different things out there. And if people are liking that, then we'll just go with it, you know. That's one of the things that really quick, like living in different places and busking. I never thought I'd say this. Busking on the streets in New Orleans, that one did that for us. We always kind of were chameleons, but like it made us turn us more into that a little bit. With certain boundaries, of course.
Yeah.
Too far outside certain perimeters.
Well, let's pick up, talk a little more about busking and all this after the break. This is awesome. I love hearing these stories. You're listening to Firebug on the Arwen Lewis radio show. We're going to take you out to break with their song Only the Lucky and bring you back in with their song Down. Cool. Okay, so we'll wrap things up really quickly, and then we have 8 minutes, and then at the end I'll do another wrap up of where to find you.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want me to include in the?
Well, you could bring up like I guess this at the end of August and stuff. The month of August we'll be working with Adrian Bushby. You can mention his name.
I'll let you do that. I'll say so. You've got like a cool project coming up, and let's finish up talking about that.
Okay. Yeah,
Does that sound good?
He's gonna produce our song.
Yeah, say that and talk about who he is, his style, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, hold on. I'm like, what's wrong with me? See, I have a brain fart too. What is your album called? What's wrong with me? The one that we're promoting right now. I have it written down.
Oh, No Return.
No Return. Okay, cool. That's their album. Yeah. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Juliet. No, we're good.
We also have a video for the song No Return.
Okay, so
on YouTube.
Cool, perfect. I'll mention that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the Arwen Lewis radio show. My very special guests are desert rock and roll band Firebug from Joshua Tree, also Chicago, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. You just heard their song Down, and we're featuring songs from their album No Return. They have a music video for their title track on No Return on YouTube. Go ahead and look that up. It's super groovy and beautiful. And I thought, Jules and Juliet, we could finish the conversation by talking about your upcoming recording project.
Yeah, so we just were tapped by producer Adrian Bushby.
Okay.
He won a Grammy for the Foo Fighters record Echoes, his best rock album, and he also won for best metal record or best who got this? He make a bet for mixing like Muse, and
Nice.
he's also worked with like his Spice Girls and Placebo and just a bunch of different artists and stuff. So basically, we had a song we recorded with our band. And at the time we mixed it and stuff. We didn't release it. So what we're doing is he heard it, and it's only like we recorded like a year ago, maybe or something 2 years ago. But I've always felt like, you know, it needs something, like it needs a remix or something.
Yeah.
So he listened to it and he's like, "Yep, this is really good. We're gonna ramp this up." So.
Nice.
And then we have other songs too we haven't released yet that he's gonna mix down and produce and stuff. So yeah, you know, it's exciting because he's really good, and if we could, you know, we're just looking forward to this new single really at first, like to come out and stuff, and hopefully with that too we'll have a music video and stuff that'll eventually like will happen in the fall. I'm thinking, like sometime like maybe late fall or hopefully mid fall if things work out well and stuff. And then also like, if that goes well, like we'll release an EP with him or maybe even a full length record. We'll see what happens. So
Yeah. And is this going to be the same vibe as No Return, or are you going in a different
no,
direction? Okay.
this is more, I don't know. It definitely has that serious tone that we kind of do, like sort of like, I don't know, motive or whatever you want to call it. But this is more rock.
Cool.
It's more like modern rock, like more kind of well, I don't know, how do I say it? Like a little bit more in your face. Like
Yeah.
the single's gonna be more like that,
It's definitely more rock, yeah.
But we have other songs that like
We have a lot
from
of
that session we didn't release it. It's not all gonna be like that because we do different kind of going our own, do different things a little bit. So I'm not, yeah, it's gonna be different. No Return, yeah, totally. It's like a whole different, and that's good
I
though.
wouldn't say so. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It's not that different I mean, it still sounds like us.
Yeah, but it's going to have a different, different energy,
Bit
like all
more,
projects
yeah.
do, right?
It's more high energy, I
Yeah.
guess I'm trying
That's
to
true.
say.
Yeah.
For sure, without a doubt. Like the single especially is coming out. I don't want to give it away. I can't give away the title yet because we might change it and stuff. But like when, that's the one thing we're really.
In addition to that, we also are writing new songs that we haven't recorded yet. We have some new songs that we feel really strongly about.
Cool.
They're similar, more like an extension to what's on No Return.
Well, and Juliet, really quick, because I want the listeners to find this out. I don't want us to run out of time. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but are you the lyricist or do you both write the lyrics?
I am the lyricist.
You're the lyricist. Okay. Cool. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Your lyrics are really beautiful.
What was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for having us. Just going off of what, what he was saying, in addition to the songs that we're going to have mixed in August, we also have all these other new songs that,
right.
I guess I just said that, so sorry. But we're super excited about those as well, too, because we just feel they're really strong. There's a lot of that Desert Noir kind of like vibe thing going on in some of them. And just, yeah.
And also up here in Joshua Tree, which is different than New Orleans a little bit. They really like the rock here, like Joshua Tree. The Queens of the Stone Age kind of like, thing. Like that's not saying that we don't sound like that we so much when we're rocking as much, but like we have that influence a little bit because we work with Chris Goss and people like that. But I guess I don't know, it's just more of a demand for like, if you're like a rock band, you're expecting like, to really rock out kind of thing. That's kind of like how it is here. Where in New Orleans, it was more like, I don't know, just a little bit more jam oriented, a little bit like there was rock, but it's just kind of like it's not all like that. But we didn't really know that when we moved up here so much, like the scene so much, because we just recorded up here, but we're kind of like, we do a lot of blues, and blues is great,
songwriters.
But it's not a blues place here, really. It's not a blues town, and like Coachella Valley is not really a blues kind of environment so much. So,
but with that said,
it's not so.
People are open-minded to it because I mean, that's the experience. I personally, like I'm always watching people for their reactions, and we most always get like a really good response when we play our blues, more of our bluesy kind of like stuff. So,
Well, I mean, I think that's weaved in through all your music. And it's been such a treat to sit here and talk about your careers and your experiences and philosophies today. Thank you so much, Firebug, for coming on the show. We're going to wrap things up now. You're listening to Arwen Lewis on the Arwen Lewis Radio Show. My very special guests today are Firebug, Jules and Juliet from Joshua Tree, California. They are desert rock with a little bit of Desert Noir, New Orleans, Delta blues, and 60s Woodstock influence. You can find out more about them at firebugmusic.com. Find them on all the social media platforms under Firebug Music. Look them up under Firebug on all of your favorite listening platforms. And now we're going to play in its entirety as their featured song, Moment of Joy. Jules and Juliet, thanks so much for coming on my show today. And good luck. And when you get your new recording, come back and we'll do some more promo for you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having us. Great being here today, and we would love to come back again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, you did great. A great show.
Thanks. All right. See you later, everybody.